I guess we get started. But I'll still wait till 10:05. Just for everyone to be here.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm good.
Um, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
you're from Bangladesh, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. I'm actually also from there, originally.
Nice.
Yeah. But I was raised in a southern African country called Botswana.
Okay. Um, nice. Yeah, I'm trying to recall, but I probably don't know, but that's nice. So how long have you been at Mon?
This is my final year. It was my freshman year in 2016. Now I'm about to graduate, inshallah. So
Wow, congrats. Well, I mean, a little sad it's COVID, but like still, enjoy it to the fullest. You worked hard for it.
thanks.
And if by 10:05 no one shows up, we'll just start anyway, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Hi, Shabaz.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good.
We were thinking, I was thinking of waiting till 10:05, um, and then we'll get started.
Good. Amita, if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm probably here. If I'm not, you can email me at anshabaz@man.ca, like any technical difficulties or anything.
Perfect. Do you just want to write the email in chat specifically to me?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Right, it's 10:05, so I'll just start anyway. Just a simple thing. I'm not going to do any presentation or read through slides because I really don't want to do that. I just want it to be more engaging. And since I only have Nusaiba for now, so if you have any question, just ask me. I have no problem answering it in between. So just simple things I wanted to say about me first is that I'm a third year business student. I'm very passionate about starting my own business, entrepreneurship in general. But other than all of that, I like to engage, but there's one thing that I would always say that growing up, after coming to university, the more older you get, you become more an introvert than an extrovert, is what I felt. So it's very hard when you're talking to people, meeting to people in the first time. So I just want to give you guys what I do usually to build my social asset. And by social asset, I don't specifically mean friends. I mean people who are going to be within your career field and who can actually help you grow together, either in a motivational term or in a career perspective. So, I would first thing, when how to meet people. I know that everyone would say the first point is LinkedIn, but I will talk about that very at the end. First, I want to talk about the other options other than LinkedIn. So that would be basically what I usually do. Um, is I would attend a lot of panel sessions, a lot of webinars. Now, I know sometimes it does get really boring to attend webinars, so not everyone wants to do that, but there are interesting ones depending on what kind of field you're in. So if you're in engineering, I would suggest if there's an engineering webinar to attend that. I'm in business, I would attend startups webinar. So what I usually do if there is panelists in any kind of web sessions, I would look up what their background is like, what are they good at, and is this relationship going to be useful to me in the long term? And that doesn't always mean I'm being friends or I'm connecting with people because I want something, but I want them to be in my realm or um, in my career industry so that in the future I can communicate with them. And it's not being selfish, it's just being more realistic. So I would usually see what they do, what kind of background they have. So if I'm looking to connect, suppose right now I'm working on a startup, I'm looking to connect with people from the food industry. I would see if there is a panelist from the food industry and always look for people who are growing versus people because people who are growing are usually like panelists on you would see a lot of panelists on webinars at MUN specifically, and they're very open. Like if you message them, they will respond to you. If you ask any question, they would actually be engaging. So that's something important that you want to have a conversation. So suppose you found a panelist and you attended that session. Now, how do you actually build a relationship? You sometimes put some questions in the chat box, but you don't want to seem annoying, but you just want to post questions so they don't know your name. But even if you don't want to do that, the second option is following their business on social media is something I do, and just reach out to them through even if you don't have a LinkedIn list, reach out to them on Instagram or Facebook page. Just be like, what kind of great job you're doing. I'm very passionate, and don't straight up when you approach someone the first thing, don't just ask for something. That someone you don't know and you're directly asking for something is very awkward. So you want to have a conversation, but that doesn't have to be like, days of conversation. After 5 days talking to someone, I'm asking for something. No, you're just asking for simple advice. You can just say hey, hello, and talk about their business. You like the idea, it's really, and you're also passionate of things like that in similar terms, and have this try to build a relationship, and then ask them something you actually want, probably just an advice. And I have seen this in Atlantic Canada. I would say most common is that people are actually willing to help you, and especially growing businesses, they want you to be more engaged with them, right? They want more audience, so it's kind of your advantage, and it's how you make out of it. And another thing I would recommend is, other than attending webinar sessions, is if you are in, suppose, engineering, or if you are in, suppose, business, or like, I'm giving two examples because I just don't want to go over and over with examples. I would suggest always connecting with people, people from your faculty. That's the most important part. Like, you don't always want to be connecting with people who are in big in big occupation from your field. You always want to be also connecting with your classmates, your folks from your faculty. That's very important because you guys are growing together and you will learn from each other. So I know sometimes it's very it's very hard to communicate, especially coming as an international coming here. It did take me a little while to start breaking the barriers and talking and reaching out to people. But once I did that, I realized like no one's going to say anything back to you, because you're talking to them or you're connecting with them. It's just a quick conversation that you're trying to have, but you need to be able to know people from your university. And now I would go to LinkedIn. Is if you do open a LinkedIn account, and I know that I would suggest it only takes you 3 to 4 months to actually build that kind of good connections on LinkedIn. That's what I felt is you always start with your university first. This is kind of like our primary identity, that we are from MUN. So people from MUN are more likely to help us out, and they actually will help you out. So that's a big advantage for us, and we should actually make use of it. And also connecting with people from our faculty. And that means that people who are students, people who are professors, people who are teachers assistant, just connect with people. And if you are, like I said, if you're an engineering student and you want to build your career there, just they have been through the same path that you are, probably they did a degree. So just learn from them, ask them what your next step should be. You're interested about this, how would you pursue this? So always ask people, and there's nothing wrong in doing that. You're not going to lose anything, you're just probably going to get more. So that's probably would be my advice. And I'm not like, professional advisor, but I'm just saying this is what I feel and I do. I would always reach out to people, no matter what. It's LinkedIn, it's Instagram, it's Facebook. I will just simply message them. And if they don't reply, there's nothing I lost really. And, it's just I was breaking my barriers and I was actually reaching out. And I felt good about doing things like that. So like I said, so just engage with people, reach out to others. Now, building social asset also comes with one more thing. So when you actually reach out with all those people, and with that, I mean, you're working on something probably, even if you're not, you just want to know people from your realm or from your career. Sometimes it's actually most likely it's very possible. So suppose you're a startup business and you're working on a business and you are trying to know people from, like this example, food industry, like food scientists. That's what I've done actually a couple months ago. Like I wanted to reach out to food scientists, and obviously I don't have the fund to get professional advices and hire food scientists. So what I did is I reached out to a lot of food scientists from LinkedIn, and I simply messaged them, and I messaged them like probably like 7 people, and I got responses from 5. So I did not get response from 2 of them, but that didn't really make me that sad because I got 5 responses. I reached out to 7, and even if the number was lower by 2, I would not mind. I at least got responses. So just reaching out to people, having a conversation, one heart. And most of the time, as a student, this is also a biggest advantage for you, is since you're a student, people know that students are trying to learn, so you will not always require to have financial stability to get advices. You're just asking people who are more qualified than you for simply to help you out. That's it. So you don't always need to think that I have to have money to do something. You don't really need money. And that's what the biggest thing I want to talk about today is. Everyone thinks you would have to have money to do things. Not really. You need to have, if you have connections and if you build a strong connection, you can do things even without having any sort of financial stability to start something. So it's all about knowing, it's all about engaging, it's all about starting from your own roots. And starting from your own roots simply means starting with your people from your university. I just want to ask Nisaba, how do you find so far? Is there any questions that you have?
No, I'm kind of just listening. Like, if I have a question, I'll definitely ask. Thanks.
All right, perfect. No worries. Just wanted to check up on you. All right. So that's what I would recommend. And second thing is, I really feel like surrounding yourself with the right kind of people. That doesn't mean, always that, you always have to be on a serious note, but surrounding with people who are who are motivating to you, like I said, always cut back the negativity, because you don't want that. Especially as a university student, we are really trying to build here a life for us. After we graduate, we either want to work or be self-employed or do something in life. So you don't want anyone to be demotivating you towards anything, even though, yes, you would want like constructive criticism. That's why always try to surround yourself with people who you feel like you're learning from each other. And even if you're not learning from each other, there's no kind of negative impact to your you're not feeling pressured by anyone. So always try to surround yourself with more positivity and motivating people. That's what I feel is very important to me. And you will get inspired from each other. So you want to be knowing people from your field who you want to become like, or you really inspire, you get really inspired from them, things like that. And I have no notes, so I'm just thinking off my mind what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one more. Yeah.
I wanted to, sorry, I just wanted to interrupt quickly. Like, I totally agree with you when you said about like the benefit and the importance of constructive criticism, because honestly, like we're not everyone is perfect. Like whether it's in the workplace or like even in relationships, like if people don't communicate their needs and wants, then we wouldn't know how to change ourselves or morph ourselves to fit into that category. Like I know like different people have different expectations, and you want to surround yourself with the people who have similar expectations or something that as long as they're like, as long as they agree with what you agree with, it's like that's like really beneficial. But if they don't, then if you can change a specific thing about yourself so that like it morphs into what they desire, maybe in the workplace, like they want like higher sales, so they should tell you like, this is how we want you to do this. Because if there's no constructive criticism, then you wouldn't know how to change to be more successful. So I really admire it when someone is able to tell me like, I suggest that you do this way so that I can be more like helpful.
Exactly. Like, people actually telling me if there is a problem, you should address the problem instead of, going behind the back. And I don't want to have that conversation, but just saying exactly like, and when someone's pointing out this is what they expect from us, things get more clear. So people need to communicate. That's like a core form of any kind of professional job, even if not professional, any kind of relationship, you will have to communicate.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I felt. And, if someone is saying no to me, I don't mind, if there's my opinion that, someone didn't like. I don't mind someone being honest and saying no. But the way someone is approaching does matter. So, that's why I pointed out it has to be a constructive criticism in a way that you're not really putting a pressure on that person, but you are saying your own opinion why you don't agree, which is fine. And one more, so that's what I wanted to say. And moving forward with that, I was also going to mention that just about the resources we have in our university. Um, Being a third year student, when I was here in my first year, I didn't know a lot. And especially one thing I always recommend is checking the listservs. Like, you want to check what your university is sending you, because there's so much that is in those emails that you probably don't look at it, and you're missing out on a lot of opportunity, because this is the time you can do the most. I feel, even once you're out of university, you will do a lot more. But what I'm saying is, right now, all the resources that you're getting, it's only for you, so you have the advantage of using it. So you should actually always look your emails, what university is sending, starting with just faculty specifically. I can say about myself is the business faculty does a lot of online sessions with employers, and like they have a lot of career sessions, and they have a lot of scholarships. They are looking to help you out financially, and it doesn't only apply to Canadian students or like Canadian citizenship. It also applies to international. So I know a lot of people tells me, if I'm international, can I get scholarship? You still can get scholarship, because majority of the scholarships I have seen does apply to international students. So always just apply. There's nothing you're gonna lose. So there's no harm in doing that. And I would also say, if you are, you don't have to be a business student. You can be from any kind of field you want to be. If you are someone who wants to be self-employed and are interested about startup ideas, there is a great resource center at MUN, which is like Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship. I have been with them for the last 3 years, just going to their events, doing the work done with them right now. They have a lot of competitions. I know everyone knows about the Melwood Cup, but in between they also have the small ones, which is like Ignite Fund and Spark Fund, things like that. You can always try for small ones as well if you don't want to go, directly apply for something big. So there's a lot of resources that you should look up, and it doesn't apply to only business students. It applies to everyone. So if you're from other faculty or field, it doesn't hurt to just give it a look. And I also would like to say that the amount of student unions is also there, and even they give scholarships. So always keep your eye open. And if you're a student, like it's a very general thing that if you're a student, you are probably, if you're ever having probably financial difficulties, just try your best to make yourself you apply, try things. There's nothing wrong in trying. And I know that I get this a lot, and I have also heard from a lot of people. I personally will give you my example. Every time I apply for something, that doesn't mean I get it. In the last couple months, I have probably made, just an example, 10 applications, and I haven't got any of them, and that didn't really demotivate me. I still continue to apply. So when you're not getting things and you're getting rejected, it always doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, or you are not capable of this. Maybe there was someone even more qualified, which is fine. That person was deserving, that person got it. So always keep applying, keep trying, and one day you will get that. And coming to that, just a very recent example, like I said, I'm working on my startup. I have applied for many competitions for startup, and I just won one so far. Actually two, but a really small one. So I've won two so far, and I probably made like 10 to 12 applications. So even like a couple days ago, I got rejected, and yes, I was upset. Not like you won't be upset if you're rejected. It's a normal human emotion. You're gonna be upset, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying. Just keep yourself open to more applications, or more open to more things. So that's why I always say check your emails. If you don't get it this time, try again. And your 4 year of degree, 3 year of degree, keep trying. There's nothing you're gonna lose. And even if you don't get it, you don't regret it because you at least give it a shot. So that's something I would always recommend people. And one more thing I was going to say is when we are talking about building social asset, I always recommend if you are someone who doesn't have co-op and a business student here again, I am doing BBA, so I don't have co-op. Always try to do internships between your summer. If you don't get one, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with not doing one, but if you get one, that's amazing. So if in summer you can get an internship, because summer is off for us, and fall and winter is when we do our courses. Take an internship in summer, meet people from a different field, connect with them on LinkedIn. And I always recommend having LinkedIn over having other social media to connect. Even though I said, yes, reach out to people on their business Instagram, I would still recommend you doing that. But having LinkedIn just makes a more professional connection. And I would also mention this, that it doesn't always mean that you have to be super formal, like you're writing an email. You don't really have to be. And people are nowadays, I feel, wants to be more engaging, wants to be more semi-formal. So, when you're reaching out to someone, it doesn't have to be like you're writing like, a really formal email to a professor. Be respectful, yet be more engaging. Okay, say things that that would be like a back and forth question answer thing, like a chat, and not just oh, thank you. You don't want just, oh, thank you for someone, because you want to build a connection. And just send, on LinkedIn, just send connect to people from your university. Most people will accept it, and that's a very fast way to grow your connection within your faculty. And that's something I always recommend. One more thing I was going to say, if you are from Newfoundland, like most of us who are in Memorial University, and if you're even from a different province, and you are in a field and you want to work for someone after you graduate, or you want to be self-employed, but if you're looking to work for someone, even for self-employment, you want to get inspired from companies, always look for local companies who are growing, because they are so open to helping you out that, you're not going to feel like, you're messaging, just a simple example, and I don't want to give an example actually. You're messaging a big company who probably has like a lot of employees, and you're reaching out to them. They're probably never going to reply, but still reach out if you want to. But like I always say, is reach out to the growing ones and reach out to your locals, because they're so much more willing to help you because they know you're from here. There's some things you can relate to, so overall the connection is already there. So a simple example, if you're supposing computer science, there's growing companies, everyone knows Verifin, they're a really big company. Collab, they're growing companies. So things like that, you want to, and they're very engaging on LinkedIn. So just reach out to people who works there. That doesn't mean that I'm asking you to be a social freak. So I'm also mentioning that. But just reaching out and connecting with people from those companies will help you to have that people from your career again, from that same sector you want to build in. And even if you are not from computer science, you're in from business, but you're very passionate about any kind of software related things, connect with people, and they will always be welcoming you. So that's what I feel. And that's why I also mentioned MCE is a great way to know more people, more local companies from Newfoundland, because they do bring a lot of panelists, and also they do bring a lot of panelists from other places, but I don't want to go in depth with that. So that's what it was for me. And that's so far I wanted to say about LinkedIn. I would also say that if you are someone who doesn't want to use social media, that is completely fine. But the reason why I was talking about social media so much today is because I know there has always people always have been giving us advice on how to meet, how to engage. And that's something, yes, I did brought up a little bit here, but because of COVID, I just want to help you guys in current situation and how to, make yourself feel more resourceful. That's, in this current time. And I know that, in COVID, we're at home. We can feel we can feel like, how do I get this done? I can't wait for university to open because I really want, I'm going to be done with university and I wish I was there. I wish I got to know more people. You still can get to know a lot of people through social media. And yes, in-person communication is probably more effective, but also technically you can really meet a lot of people in person in general, but social media lets you to connect with thousands of people at a faster pace. So maybe the connection may not be more stronger than meeting in person, but you are still having something. So there's nothing to be really sad about. Just make the most out of your current resource and current situation is what I feel. And even when you are when you're simply just uh, trying to attend something for fun, I would suggest, I am an international student and sometimes I attend a coffee session at the international coffee time, I guess, at the international office. And I really like just knowing people from there. Yes, there's not a lot of people, but again, I'm getting to know some people. And, I don't go with the intention that I'm going to go and connect with them and they're going to be from my faculty, but I'm just knowing people, especially in this pandemic. I just want to know someone who's in my university, know more folks or talk to my folks. So it's just, you want to have those small breaks in your life and engaging and reaching out or just having more connections, communicating. And we are all humans and we don't want to feel alone, and also we want to grow together because like I always say, together we're always stronger. So knowing people from your field, connecting with people, connecting with your folks is so important. And until I know that when I first came here, I didn't do a lot of things. I probably did start like them. I would probably be in a faster pace. Now, I'm not in any kind of race, but I'm just saying I wasted a couple of my months and I don't want anyone from my university to do that. So if there is resources, I want you to actually make use of it because these are for you specifically. So it's so much easier to get access to all of these. And simply about MCE, like I mentioned, about international office, about LinkedIn, like these are just, bits and pieces that I'm saying. If you actually keep looking at your emails, there's so much more resources. And I actually, most of the things that I learn or I get to know about or opportunities is from my emails. So be in the listserv for your faculty, try to see what's coming up. Be like, if you can make for one, because I know, you might have a part-time job, you might have full-time classes, you might have a lot of things going on. But, if you can attend one in the whole week, or if not, like once in the whole month, go for it. There's nothing you're going to lose. You're just going to get to know more people. And if you know someone, I do find that yes, when you meet someone and sending requests on Facebook, it's a little bit sometimes gets a little awkward, which is completely fine if you want to do. But for me, it just gets a little bit awkward sometimes. So I usually try to go for LinkedIn, if that's someone from my university and I want to connect in a kind of professional term. And like I said, this building social asset is important. Money is not always going to do things for you. You will have to make sure you know how you're going to make use of your resources. And that basically means that you want to build your resources, which is your social asset, knowing people. It doesn't, I used to think when I first came here, I used to think, oh, my dad knows a lot of people. How does he know? Or like my mom knows people. How does she know? It's because they probably have been engaging with a lot of people. And nowadays we are becoming more introvert is what I feel, and it's just completely normal. If you're an introvert, that doesn't mean you won't be able to build a social communication assets with people. You still can through social media or even in person when you're in an event. You don't really have to be chatting 24/7. You just have to have a small conversation. That's everything. And I would suggest that, all of these time, I would just suggest as much as you can be yourself is always going to help you. Like, you don't want to pretend to be someone else just because you want to connect with someone or just because you want to ask something from someone and you want to show an interest that you're really not interested about. And I personally, if someone reached out to me and I didn't feel like that person was being original to me, I would not feel I would not really like to have a longer conversation. I'll probably have a conversation, but not too long. So I always recommend that, just be yourself, just be really honest. And, you know, be nice to people. Please be nice to people. That's something I always say. We are all university students, and we should be there for each other, and always be kind and nice and open heart to people, because you never know what that other person is struggling with, or that what other person is going through. And that's how you actually connect. You talk, be kind to people, you know about each other, and you learn from each other. And that doesn't always mean you need to get something from that person, but just connecting with people from your faculty, or connecting with people from your university, and just being kind and nice to people will take you a long way. And I will tell you this, that coming year, I'm not gonna say like, I'm this, I'm that, but I'm just gonna say, like, as long as you are nice and kind to people, like, you don't really have to be someone who's on top of everything, who's always getting hundreds, who's very cunning, who knows the thing, which there's nothing wrong with being that. But as long as you're really nice and kind to people, people will actually be so much more um welcoming to you. Like, people, you have probably had a conversation once, or people know that you're being honest and you're being so real. Easily, it's so much easy to make or build a relationship, because right now, especially, there's so much going on social media, there's so much expectations. Especially, I would say, when you open LinkedIn, I'll be honest, you'll see everyone's achieving so much, which is fine, but no one's talking about the rejection. So, if you are going through rejections, that doesn't mean no one else did. I have gone through a lot of rejections, and that's completely fine, and that's a normal thing to happen. And you don't have to be top of your class. You don't have to get hundreds in all of your courses. You can just, I would say, I'm an average student, and that doesn't mean that I can't get anything in life, or I can't achieve what I want to achieve, right? So just keep trying, and just believe in yourself, and just be nice, humble, and kind to everyone around you, and you will be there. And simply, just being a nice, kind person will take you a long way. That's what I always feel. And one more thing I would mention, I know a lot of people have said that to me, like, don't let anyone take advantage of you. That's what I always mention. Like I said in the beginning, don't let anyone, giving you negative comments and getting that into your head, because you don't want that, especially right now, as we are all growing. We'll probably be between the age of 19 to 25, and even if you're older, it doesn't matter which age you're from. But at this, with the general university ages, I don't want, anyone to go through any kind of um, sadness, because people are saying you're not good enough. We are humans, we're not perfect, no one's going to be perfect. You can make errors. If you make a spelling mistake while you're typing something, it doesn't mean it's end of the life. It's a common thing to happen. Just don't stress about things so much that you feel like you made a big mistake, and don't consider yourself too small or big. And if you are a university student, you've never worked somewhere, and you just graduated as a freshman, it doesn't really mean you don't know anything. You have this 4-year degree, have gained so much experience, you've learned so much, that that you can contribute to that company. Even if you didn't have any experience, you know your things. So never look at yourself like you're not enough for something, and always aim more for yourself. Never underdetermine yourself, or like, think that you're not capable of something. Yes, having realistic expectation is important, like knowing that, yes, this is something I'm capable of, and this is probably, if someone tells me to build a software, I can build a software. I really don't know. So I'm not going to have an expectation that, yes, I'm going to work there and I'm going to build software. But if there's an opportunity which I feel like, yes, I somewhat meet the expectations, and I have done something similar with my courses, if not my career, and we have done similar things in our courses and in our whole business degree, then I will apply for it. So there's no harm in trying things out, and there's nothing wrong in aiming for more. And like I always say, with that, please try to be nice and kind to everyone, because it's so important that you are, because how you say things probably you said something to someone, that person, you don't know how that person will feel the rest of the day, and you probably, if you said something bad to someone, you probably ruins that person's day. So you don't want to be doing things like that. And I don't want to have a moral class, but I just want to say that, and I feel that's something very important to me. And I wanted everyone to know, while you're building your social asset, you want to make sure how kind and open you are, because you are asking for something from someone else, or you're connecting with someone because you feel like you want to engage with that person. So if you are connecting with someone, you want to be nice, and you don't always want to talk about your achievements. This, this, this is what I've done. This is what I'm, which is good. You want to talk about achievement, which is fine, but you always don't want to make it sound like it's all about yourself and not that person. And I just want to take another little break. Nusaiba, is there something you want to talk about, or ask me anything?
Yeah, honestly, like you've mentioned like so many good points that like I don't even know how to thank you enough. It's like there's like a number of things that you've mentioned that like I would have interrupted like while you were talking, but like I just decided like let me just let her finish, and then like I'll also tell her like what I was thinking about it. The first point being like being nice to people. That I totally agree with, like because sometimes you wonder why this person is not talking, or like why this person seems to be distant and stuff like that. And that could be because of something you probably said. So I definitely agree with being kind and compassionate and not like mean. But that's the thing, is that like you need to like surround yourself with people that kind of are kind of lifting you up and understanding you, and not like bringing you down, so that you're both on the same page. Because oftentimes like there's probably like some discrepancies based off of differences, and differences exist, and that's fine, like but that's why like we are made to like engage with people who we associate most, so that's good. About LinkedIn, I wanted to say that I totally agree with you. This is a huge thing that I once struggled with, and that is like seeing other people's successes on LinkedIn, and just seeing like how yeah, I constantly just see this person got a job there, that person got a job there, and it's just like everyone's just getting jobs, and everyone's just getting like promotions and stuff like that, and it's just like you start thinking like, am I the only one like just not getting a job? And because social media is not, what is it, like it's not something
It
people
shows
take
more of the
seriously.
positive side than actually the whole story behind it, right?
Yeah, and I don't think that we should totally rely on social media for like the truth. I think like it's something that we need to guard ourselves with. Like I think, because the thing is, it's not about being jealous or anything. It's just about being like, oh, but I didn't get it, like I'm probably not good enough. But that's why like I feel like the creators of social media should kind of take out these aspects of like these likes and things like that. It can emotionally affect the person, and they can think like, oh, I'm not good enough, and that's why I'm not able to do this. So that's something that I've noticed. And also so you mentioned something about like trying things, like just applying for things. uh is there like, I know you said like you apply, like there's so many emails that you get and you apply for them. Do you apply for like scholarships and you apply for different things, but something I personally struggle with is like time management, and having so many like organizations that reach out for like either volunteering or scholarships and things like that. It's like there's so many things going on that I don't know which one to pay attention to. Like I want to dedicate my time to like one thing. Like right now it's my studies, but then at the same time, those things, like those emails come in, and you just said that don't ignore them, just go for it. Like just try to read them and try to realize like what they're about. And sometimes it turns out that due to like this inability to concentrate or focus, like I am not able to like, it overwhelms me. That's what I mean. Like a lot of, when I have a lot of things, like it overwhelms me. So that's something that definitely I need to work on. Yeah, that's what I had to say.
I just want to address to that. So, I completely understand the point that it does get overwhelming. So I would be honest, that doesn't mean when I get an email, I apply to all of them. because I have to see how much time I have. You can have exams, you can have schools, I have work. So what I would say is, I look at the application, it's short enough. I think I can get out 30 minutes of my day or 1 hour of my day and do it. I personally really like, writing a lot, like writing things. I like to uh just try for things probably, because I'll be honest, I have never won a lottery. So I know that I just give my chances. If I get something, amazing. If I don't, I don't. But yes, it can get really overwhelming. So it doesn't mean that you always have to, but when you have the time, take the opportunity to do it. And if you didn't have the time, don't cry and regret over it. It's fine. You just were concentrating on something more. And that's something I also want to talk, is that you have to understand what your priorities are. So if right now you have an exam and there's like, you got an email for like 2 applications that you're interested in applying, but you have this very important exam tomorrow that you need to study, and you know that you can't spare a time for yourself to do that, the application. Now you have to choose your priority. Your priority is probably that exam. It's fine if you miss out on that 2 applications, because you were aiming for something more. You were aiming for something that was more important to you. So you really have to understand what's more important right now. Is watching TV? Yes, it doesn't only mean that watching TV is I'm just laying back, watching TV, just chilling. No, you sometimes need yourself a break. If you think that break is more important than submitting this application right now, that is not a mandatory thing, take yourself that break. Give yourself mental breaks. Give yourself more importance to things that you're dependent on. Then try for extra. Then try for things that are not mandatory. But always get your things done at first. That's what I would always say.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, I'll definitely try to do that. Thanks for the advice.
No worries. And I would like I would just gonna say that some struggles that I have personally is that I was really old school until very recently. I would keep everything on my notes, and I love writing. I know that whenever I go to my classes, everyone's typing on their laptop, and then you'll see me, I'll get out my copy and pen, and I'll just start writing. I don't care. I'll have multicolored pens and I'll start writing just to keep myself motivated to read those notes. But if you're having a hard time getting things into your schedule, something I really like to use is Google Calendar, because when someone sends you a link, you can just really connect it to your Google Calendar. And having a phone calendar is so much easier because your phone's with you most of the time, versus me carrying that copy. And that worked for me for 2 years but didn't work anymore. Is there something you want to say?
No, I'm just listening. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, I just really feel like having a Google Calendar helped me to get my things more organized and try to reach out for more things. So one thing I also do, if there is an application deadline, so suppose application deadline was March 5th. I put it on my Google Calendar a week before that it's going to be March 5th. But if the application was on March 5th, 5 p.m., I just put it on March 5th, 12 p.m. And 1 week ago, I already know that, or like I would probably put it like instantly when I get an email, I know I'm interested about it, I'll put it on my Google Calendar. That doesn't mean I'm going to do this, but I'll just put it. And if I see like, today I'm just not doing anything, I'll just see, oh, let me just check my Google Calendar. Is there something I need to work on? And I saw that, I'm like, okay, I have free hour, like half an hour. Let me just work on this right now. So, you just want to have things on your calendar. And if you have a free time, just go for it. Like, you never know what's going to come out of it. So that's a easy, smart way to, I feel, organize things. And I learned it from another friend of mine. So again, be engage with your folks, and you'll learn from each other. And that's the greatest way. And that's the best gift an university will give you. These people will actually be so much than just classmates to you. And we need each other for us to grow, and that's so much. I can't stress more on how important it is to actually engage with people from your faculty or from your university. And one more thing I wanted to mention, I almost forgot, I had to say this. If you message someone and you see that person didn't respond, or you see that person saw your message and did not respond, please don't be upset. It's fine. That person could be in in a meeting. That person could be in between a class. That person could be busy. And even if you're reaching out to someone professional and that you saw that person reach message and that person didn't reply, and you're really upset. I messaged someone and I was really expecting I would be able to talk to that person didn't reply. It's fine. That happens. And give it like 5 days or 4 days. And then follow up. And don't be a social creep. Don't keep messaging someone because that's very annoying and a person wouldn't like that. But just follow up and be like, just wondering what were your thoughts on this, or just be like, hey, I just want to look and see if you're doing okay, if that's a friend. Just follow up. And there's, if that person was busy, sometimes I actually forget to reply because I was in middle of meetings and I saw a message and I was like, oh shit, I didn't reply. Um, it happens, and you don't have to think like negatively, that person doesn't want to talk to me, or I don't think I'm gonna be able to connect with this person because I don't know, did I say something wrong? Do I sound weird? Did I write something awkward? Oh, I made a small silly spelling mistake. It could be that reason. Like, don't overstress yourself so much because you don't really know what's happening on the other side of the story, and you don't want to keep blaming yourself, because this is one thing I have seen other people doing. I have probably done myself in the very beginning, and I learned from my own mistakes, and I don't want you to make that mistake. So, just think like, yeah, exactly. You want to say something?
I totally agree. Like, when it comes to like, I definitely find myself super embarrassed, like constantly messaging someone that's like obviously not kind of ignoring, but like maybe they're busy. Like, I literally turn red. Like, I'm just like, oh shoot, like why did I double message this? Like, I feel like I just want to take it off. So, yeah, like maybe messaging someone and then waiting for some time and then just following up. I'll take that I'll take note of that.
No worries. But yes, that's something that really helped me. And I always recommend, having some personal breaks while you're so much rushing, and just take yourself some small breaks to talk to people, and just engage with people, because that helps so much. And you don't always have to be studying, always have to be going to work, always I go to study, I wake up, I go to class, I come back, I go to work, and then I do this and do that. You don't always have to be on the go. You can take yourself small breaks, meet new people, talk to others, do things like that, because this is your time in university. This is actually your time to enjoy, to engage, and make memories. Once you grow up, you're gonna be like, oh, I really wish I went there. You're gonna regret. And we don't want to have regrets, right? We want to make all the memories we want from our university, and we want to make the most of it. So, I still laugh of, so much more I've done when I was in my first year. And I was like, sometimes I wish, why didn't I go to that event? I could have easily gone there. But, things like that. I don't want to keep any regrets anymore. And I don't want anyone else to do that either. Like, just if you feel like doing something and going somewhere that's good for yourself and good for others, and, just engage with people, do it. Go for it. And take yourself a little break from all the hustle and bustle we all do every day. You need yourself a break.
Yeah, that's like so nice of you. I mean, it's like it's a nice piece of advice because you're looking out for like my mental health. You're just like, no, don't just like shut yourself out. But what's interesting is like I think also like being selective about like what you want to attend. Like I know, like you said, like it's about like having fun while you're still in university, but there's like within the university there's like different types of communities and different backgrounds and different types of events that are catered for different things. So being selective in that, like choosing what you associate yourself with, very important. Like personally, I know that like I'm actually the Sisters Religious Activities Coordinator at Memorial University Muslim Students Association. So I usually, as a person who likes like religious activities, I usually attend like religious things, or like, so from even like right now during COVID, like I definitely, what you're saying about engaging yourself and not shutting, I definitely like there's other universities who collaborate with our MSA, and like we do like online Quran recitations and things of that nature. So like it depends on the person and what they enjoy. And I'm glad that there's just like a variety of things so that like students can choose like what they affiliate more towards, because sometimes what can happen is maybe I attend an event that where something is happening that I don't personally want to engage in, or like maybe I'm not comfortable in that environment. So being like selective about what you want to do is also something that I feel like every student should be given that option.
Yes, and I also wanted to say that when you are someone that when you're probably in your first year, second year, even in your third year, it doesn't matter. You don't know what you're interested about. That's fine. It's normal. You can have, you don't know what you want to do. You don't know what you're interested about. Just randomly go to things. If you find that interesting, wonderful. If you don't, that's fine. Try something else. If you don't find something interesting, don't lose your hopes on just that one place you went, just because you felt, oh my God, I've tried one university even. I really didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. And I'm never going to one again. Don't be that person. Just try something else. Probably you will like something. You will find your interest. And that's where university comes in. If you can find your interest, they will help you. There's so much more you can go to than just one thing. And like you said, Nusa, about with your MSA, you guys collaborate with other universities. Similar, like a couple of days ago, I probably attended sessions that was in from Halifax. And I even though the people are not in St. John's, and I probably will not meet them in person very soon. Um, it was just really nice for me to meet people from a different side of the province. And it's just by my interest with probably attending those kind of sessions. And if your interest is probably you like going to parties, if you like going to parties, just try different parties. That's fine. And that's one thing I always feel is very important. And right now I am a business rep, and I always say this to all my faculty peers and faculty folks, is that in business itself, the faculty, when you go in there, yes, we are a little quiet. There's not a lot of going on. We are a little bit on the other side, but there's so much more going on, and that's how I always keep up with the listservs. And I always, if I'm sitting in and I see someone else like, hey, do you guys want to go with me in this one? I just approach. That's not, if they say no, that's fine. I will be a little upset. Oh, I didn't get anyone, but that's fine. So just if you find someone and just ask, hey, do you guys want to go with me to this event? That's fine if you don't want to go alone. And again, you're meeting some people and you found that person interesting and you want to go with that person, 5 other people. You're making friends like that. And having friends in university or just knowing people is so important, because it can get sometimes if you're an international, even if you're not, or your family is not from here, it can get lonely sometimes, and you want people around, and it's a normal feeling to have. And if you are like I always feel, and from the student union perspective as well, there is so much important, like it's really important for us to have this variety of options, because we want all the universities, all students from a university to be able to attend events. If this is not for you, there should be something else for you. There should be something for everyone, and it's so much important that we treat everyone equally, and just being nice and compassionate to each other, and not making a comment if even if someone reached out to me and I can't go to that event. I will just simply be like, hey, I really wish I could go, but I have something on the go and I won't be able to make it, but I definitely recommend you to go. Say things like that instead of being like, I can't go. Like, don't be so um don't be so strict, because if someone else said that to you, just always think, if someone else was behaving like that to me, how will I feel? Think it from your own perspective and see it from others, and you will actually realize how much that is important. While engaging with people, while building yourself a social asset, you never know how useful that person will be in your life one day. So you want to make sure you are being nice and kind to everyone. That doesn't mean you're only being nice to people who have a high profile or who are very popular, who have a very high profile in career or popular among students. You want to be engaging with everyone and you want to be nice to everyone. That's a very important thing. That's something we have been learning as a kid, and we still need to keep learning as we grow. And I'll end it to that.
Wow, that was so, like, again, I can't thank you enough. Like, I've learned so much today, and I'm definitely gonna take all this advice and put it into practice as much as I can. Like, what happens when you're like in university is like there's so many things happening. Like, people are doing so many different things. Like, there are so many different faculties, there's so many different events, there's so many different job opportunities, so many things are happening at the same time, and it can honestly get overwhelming. You don't know which one to focus on. So I definitely took your words very, like, I found that your words are very helpful, and I'll try to like like go with it as much as I can, inshallah. So
Thank you so much, Nisaba. I really appreciate you coming here. And, I didn't have to do this alone. So thank you so much for actually being here. I actually also wanted to put my LinkedIn there if you ever want to, it was lovely knowing you. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I would love to know you. And, if there's any question you have, and if I also want to mention that I am right now a business rep. So if there's any students from business faculty, if they have any question or generally any students, you can bring them along my way and just, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help out. And, in general, as a university student, if you have any questions, if I can't answer, I'll try to find someone who can help you out.
That's great. Just one more question. I just wanted to ask about the startup thing. Like, I'm an international student right now, so like I want to eventually get a PR and like get a citizenship in the future, but like that's for the future. Like right now I'm still an international student. So how eligible am I as an international student to like start a business?
So you don't really have to be a Canadian resident or a Canadian citizen to start a business. I have seen so many international people starting business. And it does take a while for business to start running. So I would suggest, when you brainstorm the idea, by the time you create that business, it takes a while. I would suggest you to actually talk to MCE, which is Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship. And what I would do is I would send my email here. You can send me an email and I'll send you some links of some faculties or places where you can actually reach out to. And in general, there's so many webinars happening. ANC is another place where Association of New Canadians, you will see a lot of webinars with them where, you will see a lot of international people who have their startup, who actually got their, I don't want to go into the legal terms of, immigration, but they also got their PR based on their startup. So you don't have to be a Canadian to have a business or start a business. You can be from any parts of the world and start a business and still be eligible to apply for competitions, even if you're from a different country.
Okay, I wanted to ask, like, I don't know if this is going to be a personal question, but are you an international student? And if you don't want to answer it, oh, okay, that's great.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
like
still
was
hold,
curious.
my country's passport, so I'm not a Canadian or even a PR. But that doesn't mean I won't be able to do it or anyone else won't be able to do it. It's open to everyone.
Okay, and when it comes to like your future, do you want to stay in Canada or?
That's something I'm not really sure about. But definitely I do want to start my business and it's for my community and I want to help people from the world. So I'm not really sure about things like that. I don't want to go personally into it, but I just wanted to start my own business, and regardless of me being here or me going back to my home or just going somewhere else, I just really wanted to have my own business that can help the society and the community I'm currently living in. So more working on the present than what I will do.
So sorry for asking like
No, that's
you
fine.
personally.
That's
I
all
was just
good.
curious because like I personally am going like I'm also an international student. I'm kind of going through this as well. Like I was wondering like what's gonna happen in the future. So I like it here, but I don't know. I'll see. And yeah.
Absolutely. And then, you know, there's international office. They're always willing to help you out. There's Natasha, there's Arif, and you know, all those people are very nice and kind. You know, just ask them and book a session with them on Navigate app, and they'll be more than happy to help you out.
Okay. How do you deal with like situations where people are kind of rude? Like maybe like a
So
like
if someone is a little bit rude, what I usually do is
maybe they say a comment that's like either downright rude or like even a lot of
if
students have complained about racism as well and Islamophobia and things of that nature. So
if you find someone being rude, I would generally say, um, just still, I would say this: if someone's being rude to you, that doesn't mean you have to be rude to that person. You just have to be yourself, you know, but also not let anyone take advantage of you. So if someone's being rude to you, just try a second time. If that doesn't work, I always give everything a second shot. If it doesn't work, try to reach out to someone else. And if you can't reach out anyone, so suppose you know you went to a faculty and you reached out to someone, you couldn't get anyone. You tried another time, you could get anyone. Try to reach out to someone who is in a similar field. A different person you can reach out to. If you can't reach out anyone, again, we student union are here to help. Whether you're a graduate student, GSU will be there or Mansu will be there. You can reach out to them and we'll be more than happy to give you the assistance you need. Okay. So if anything like that ever happens, do reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you.
okay, and can you like give an example of like international students who've done like started like I know like you're a business student, so do you know like what you might like
Um,
have you ever
I know.
thought of starting a business?
Yes, I actually did, and I'm currently working on one. Also, I want to mention that my session ends at 11, but I'll still answer this last one. That is,
Okay.
I have seen, I'm just bringing it out now. I know these international people. Her name is, they did the Nuclear Bio. They actually won last year's Melwood Cup. Her name is Nikita. She is an international student. And then I also know, another person. Was just looking for his name. It's Isaac. Isaac is from Metrics Flow. They're an international student. So these kind of you know, if you're interested in any kind of if you're interested in similar things that they're doing in their business, you know, connect with them as well. And Isaac is an international student. I did attend his session on ANC. I know Milkstar, but she's not an international student. However, she was an international when she came here. She's from Philippines. So, you know, she was really willing to help me out as well. So ANC is all probably a really nice place, and you know they have webinar sessions, and they talk about new Canadians starting up their business, or you know when they were international, they started their business. So just shoot me an email. I'll try to help you out as much as I can, but we will have to attend our session here today because you know it's 11 and
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to.
totally. Of course. Thank you very much.
No worries. It was lovely meeting you, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Take care. Bye bye.